Welcome to our weekly discussion of all things current in California politics. I'm Walt Gray, joined again this week by Rich Ehisen, editor-in-chief of Capital Weekly publication. Rich, good to have you here. So both legislative bosses, I guess we could use that word, are promising or hoping to make California more affordable. How does this happen?
Well, one of the, rock hard things that they both introduced was lowering the number of bills that lawmakers can introduce. It was 40 in the Senate and 50 in the Assembly. They've both been reduced down to 35. The idea being that they spend more time focusing on bills that could maybe have some level of affordability baked in, as opposed to some of the other things that Dems are known for. That said, we'll have to see. What are we talking about here? Lowering the price of permits for building, or lowering the gas tax maybe, or even eliminating it? Those are things that they can do. None of those are going to be quick fixes. So, that's one I'm a little skeptical on, but at least it sounds like maybe they heard what the electorate said during this election and are going to maybe put some effort to it.
So the special session that the governor had convened, so $25 million set aside for potential legal fees to Trump-proof the state of California. There's been some pushback to that, as it's just putting money in the hands of attorneys and it's just going to jam things up.
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical about the idea of being able to Trump-proof or president-proof anything. The federal law almost always trumps, no pun intended,
got it.
State law. But the reality is, it's probably not a bad idea to think about these things before you absolutely have to. Last-second planning is never a good thing. That said, I also know that they are at least thinking that there's a chance they could work with the new administration first, and I do hope and think that's what they're planning to do. 25 million, though, in a budget crisis like we're in, like we seem to be perpetually in these last couple of years, that does not seem like a huge amount of money, but every penny counts.
Yeah, especially with California's budget being what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
When the president takes office January 20th, he's promising mass deportation. In what stage is that going to be? Is it everybody? What happens to our ag business? Where is all this going to play out?
Well, much like he said with healthcare, we really only have kind of a concept of a plan here. And the short version is nobody knows exactly what they're going to do because they haven't said exactly what they're going to do. Though it would seem the most likely thing is that they will probably go after some of the folks who have been let in the most recent years under the Biden administration. Those seem to be essentially the low-hanging fruit. More than likely, that seems to be what they'll do. After that, yes, probably be looking at anyone with a criminal record. They're going to go after the ones that are the most obvious cases first. They're going to get resistance, yes, especially from the agricultural community, broken down into fruits, vegetables, the wine industry, the meatpacking industry, construction. We've already seen a lot of pushback from some of the construction industry in Texas. I think what the ultimate program looks like is very much to be determined.
Yeah.
And it's not going to probably look like what was talked about on the campaign trail, because most things rarely do.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think once they try doing things, there'll be pushback, and then they'll be like, okay, we're going to just do something a little bit for now.
Well, it's going to be very hard to get those lower prices, and especially for the rank and file among us, when you're taking away the workforce of some of the biggest industries in the country. So it's going to be a really interesting pathway going forward.
Yeah. Okay, Rich, thank you. If you'd like to reach out to Rich Ehisen, you can do so. Rich.Ehisen at capitalweekly.net.